FNAF lore is complicated. There is plenty of miscommunication and misinterpretation when things are revealed because, well, we don't have a lot of solid evidence to use as a base. Sure, we know that there are some things that would make sense, but there's always another explanation. But despite this, and despite the signature line of "it's just a theory," there are still those who try to treat FNAF theories as FNAF fact. And some of the most common instances of this are what we're exploring today. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and this is the Top 10 FNAF theories versus FNAF lore. Time to remind you that these aren't confirmed, and for plenty of you to get mad at me for it. Let's do it. And at 10, Evan. The ongoing search for Crying Child's name has been present since the 4th game and continues to this day. The theory of the name has had many sources, with the latest iteration of the theory naming him Evan. However, this has yet to be concrete, since the proof of the final letter is shaky at best, and the name Chris just came out of absolutely nowhere and has no canonical source to link itself to. The truth is, we still don't have an official first name for Crying Child. Even in the Freddy Files Updated Edition, which I feel would have been a good place to name the character, the book still refers to him as the Crying Child, so there's no name for this guy, only an alias. So by the gods, stop saying his name is Evan, or Chris, or Terrence, or whatever in the comments because nothing's been confirmed. Plus, there may not even be a way to confirm his name at this point, and it may always remain speculation. So how about instead you word it like his name might be Evan, since that would actually be a true statement. His name might be anything, really, even like Jizz Rocket, for all we know. And at 9, FNAF 4. FNAF 4 is one of the weak points when it comes to discerning or decoding the FNAF timeline, which is basically impossible at this point. This game has so much debate about who the characters are, where it takes place, and hell, even when it takes place. Yeah, people were legitimately arguing over the time period of the game, 1983 or 1987. 87 would make partial sense, considering how we see a bite at the end of the game where the Crying Child dies. And the only other time we hear about a bite in game is the bite of 87, where someone gets their frontal lobe bitten off. However, the television screen showing Fredbear and Friends says that it's only 1983, and you know, the whole skull isn't just the frontal lobe. But this debate was put to rest though when Scott confirmed the previous game's date in sister location. He likes to do this thing where he clears up some things from his last games with the next one. And the biggest debate from FNAF 4 was the year, so he showed us that it was indeed 1983 by using that number as a secret code that unlocked security cameras in sister location that showed us the various locations of the FNAF 4 house, the Crying Child's bed, the closet in his room, and the plush trap hallway. And at 8, logbook spirits. One of the bigger theories going around is that the survival logbook is possessed by two spirits, one that writes in faded text and the other that changes things that appear on the pages. I don't think this theory is true, but after Matt had talked about it, it blew up and a lot of people treated it as fact. The idea came about after someone noticed that in Nights 4 and 5 reviews, some text is altered to say things like "it was for me, I'm scared and I can't see." This theory is a good one, it provides answers, and it seems to point to Crying Child being the other spirit, and this could explain why other parts of the book are messed up, like the page numbers, but other than that, it wouldn't really make sense, unless this book is an allegory for Golden Freddy, but it's still nothing other than a theory. There's no actual proof behind this other than speculation and assumptions, so don't take this as absolutely true. And it's 7, Robot Crying Child. The line "I will put you back together" has been debated for ages, ever since the release of FNAF 4. The line was originally believed to be spoken by William, but later was thought to be psychic friend Fredbear. However, I believe this to still be William, who was making a promise to his son before pulling the plug. He already lost one of his kids to his wickedness, so he won't lose another. He takes him off life support and brings him home, uses his agony to power a new robot and implanting it with memories that will cause him to stay away from the place that did him harm, to keep him away from William's wickedness. He makes this one older though, and makes him think that he killed his younger brother, even if it was by accident. He names him Michael, but later on we learn that that wasn't his true name. At the end of Sister Location we hear Michael say, "I should be dead, but I'm not." And that's not him talking about Ennard ejecting himself, that's him talking about his past life as Crying Child. At least that's part of my theory anyway. I've had a load of different videos discussing this idea, but most recently the video titled "We Were Wrong About Golden Freddy" has some additional evidence. But as per this list, this is still just a theory. I'm not taking it as actual lore. I'm a man, I can admit it, just presenting it as a possibility, which many commenters don't seem to understand. But then again, they also try to disprove me with other theories, hence why we felt we needed to make this list. And at 6, Hell vs. Coma. Ultimate Custom Night was a really interesting turning point for the FNAF series. The original Afton storyline was finally at a close, and this game was the ultimate capstone to that, with some important lore hints in the form of voiced lines that play when you get killed, which happens a lot, so that's good. However, this game still fits into the FNAF story, and serves as a link between the original story and the new one. But originally we interpreted this game all wrong, since we initially thought that William was burning in hell or stuck in purgatory. But as Supernatural fans know, purgatory is just a giant forest where monsters kill each other for all eternity, not a security guard in an office where you fight off countless animatronics. Honestly, that's my hell though. But this idea, despite being solid with incredible amounts of evidence, was proven wrong thanks to the original final book in the Fazbear Fright series called Bunny Call. Wow, Scott really likes to just screw us over, doesn't he? However, in this book, the story of the man in room 1280 tells the true tale of what's going on in this game. Afton is in the hospital, horrifically burned after the FNAF 6 fire, and he is stuck in a coma, much like Crying Child from FNAF 4. Eventually though, he wakes up, which is him beating 50/20 mode, and is brought to a Fazbear warehouse where he promptly explodes and possesses a hard drive. That's the fact. That the hell and purgatory, that's a theory. Halfway through into number 5, Mike Trap. This has got to be the most frustrating debate in all of FNAF lore. This debate also arose at the same time as the purple guy debate, and they go hand in hand. At the end of Sister Location, the secret ending that is, Mike has a little speech about how he's supposed to be dead but he isn't, and how he's going to go find his father. This debate comes up because of literally the last 2 seconds of this scene, where Mike says, "I'm going to come find you," and Springtrap pops out of the ruins of Fazbear Fright. This caused some people to believe that Springtrap popping out is Scott's way of saying that they're the same person. However, it was only to show that his dad hasn't kicked the animatronic bucket. And that's just, you know, he's able to be found. And that you unplugging his life support didn't do anything because he's being, whatever. The whole Mike Trap thing was disproven by Scott himself when he said in a post on Steam to take a look at Matt Pack's explanation for the theory, which is dumb because you can just say that he's William, but also, like, you generated traffic to his video. I mean, if you want to give us some of that treatment, that'd be nice, though. But yeah, Matt Pat also said that Springtrap was good ol' Willie A, so there you go. And at 4, Golden Freddy. The idea that Golden Freddy has 2 souls inside him only started thanks to the Bunny Call epilogue, where the spirit of the one possessing Afton went on to possess the Stitch Wraith along with the original spirit. That for some reason caused everyone to believe that Golden Freddy has 2 souls inside him. However, this is just a theory and not confirmed lore. Lore-wise, as far as we know, Freddy only has 1 soul inside him. This presents an issue because looking at the series through this lens can cause us to move in directions that were never intended if Golden Freddy having 2 souls is in fact not the case. We have to look at everything from both angles if we're really going to do things properly. Having one viewpoint can end up being our downfall. So whenever I suggest that Golden Freddy has 1 soul or go off using that idea, it's because it's still a possibility. Nothing has been confirmed by Scott about the 2 soul theory. Don't take this as confirmed lore. Thank you. Have a nice day. Getting close to the end in number 3, Gravestones. The gravestone ending and the positions of the FNAF 3 heads are what we based the missing children's names on, each with a head lining up with one grave, with the girls being in line with Chica, the girl character. But despite this, it's still a theory. It is absolutely a solid theory, but to my knowledge, Scott hasn't confirmed this naming to be absolutely true in any written post. Even more theoretically are the names of Charlotte and Cassidy, which we believe to be on the other 2 graves, where the names aren't actually visible. Charlotte being the one on the hill thanks to her looking over the missing children, as well as the location of her grave in the novels. And Cassidy because it seems to have been Golden Freddy's name as revealed by the logbook. But honestly, since we can't see the names, we still don't know if this is true. It could be revealed that these names we've never even seen before are on those graves. The one on the hill could be Elizabeth, and the one behind the grass could actually be Crying Child's name. Hell, it could have actually just been a kid who was named Grass, or audio science, as MatPat suggests in a theory on the subject. Until we get a written post by Scott or whoever takes over next, unfortunately, it's still just a theory, despite being a theory that is widely accepted as canon because of the magnitudes of evidence. Don't get me wrong, I think that it's true, I'm just saying that it's not confirmed. In it too, Mrs. Afton. We know little about Mrs. Afton. We don't even know if there was a Mrs. Afton. We know that William probably had some form of woman in his life, assuming his kids are biological and not adopted, but we also have no idea who this woman was, or if she's alive, if she died, or if she's just divorced. There are, however, many ideas or rumors that were started by different FNAF parody songs and animations involving car accidents and the missus walking in on whatever William was doing, but none of these have ever been confirmed. confirmed, so treating them as fact is a major mistake. There is also no official name yet for Mrs. Afton. Some people call her Clara because of Immortal and the Restless, the soap opera from Sister Location, since there was a vampire in purple that people were comparing to William, which for some reason meant that even though William's name isn't Vlad, that Clara was 100% the name of his wife, which just isn't true. Clara Afton doesn't exist, at least yet. But she has no canon name at the moment, so stop saying in the comments that her name is Clara. It's not Clara, okay? It's not a thing. Stop it. Finally, in at number 1, motivation. One question every FNAF fan wants answered is why did William Afton start killing? There are plenty of explanations. None of them, however, are confirmed or canon. They're all theories. Maybe his wife left him, maybe she was killed in a car accident, maybe she walked in on William doing a messed up experiment, and maybe William had to deal with her, then got a taste for it. Maybe he just snapped, maybe Henry drove him to it, maybe he was abused, maybe he was bullied, maybe he's the typical run-of-the-mill psychopath, maybe he's a vampire. We don't know. And that's partly what makes him such a great villain. We don't know his starting motivations. Later we learn that he keeps doing things because he wants to live forever, but before discovering Remnant we have no idea what his plan was. It could be the key to unlocking the entire series, but we wouldn't know it. There is the major theory that he starts killing because his children die, and this is just impossible. This cannot be the case, since we know that Elizabeth gets grabbed by Baby, who was one of the first animatronics William made as proven by the FNAF AR Faz Facts. So he would have had to have malintentions before his children went missing, since he had to build, murder bots. And those were the cause of their deaths, so sorry. There we have it, friends, the top 10 FNAF theories versus FNAF lore. What theories do you believe and what theories do you want to remind everyone are still just theories? Be sure you let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. And remember, that's just a theory. A FNAF theory! Thanks for watching.